Welcome to episode 8 of the Circle Podcast. We are your hosts, Ian,
Christian,
and Patrick.
And this week we're going to be talking politics. But first, what are we drinking?
What are we drinking?
Yeah, what are we?
We got this special High West whiskey, a double rye, extra rye, double the amount of rye.
Double rye.
Yeah.
That's almost triple.
You guys know anything about whiskey to know like what rye really is?
I was just going to ask you
It's
if
the
you
worst
know.
kind of bread.
I was really hoping I would know what it was, but I don't.
Oh, man, Ian, you would be the one to know of all
I know,
of us.
I know I wouldn't. I fucked it up.
Darn it, man.
I know for a fact that I
means-
have no idea.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Double rye? What does that have? Is that how they? Is that like a?
I think it's a process. We probably could have looked this up and been competent hosts, but you know.
Sorry,
that wouldn't be
guys.
fun.
It wouldn't be natural
It
enough.
wouldn't be natural. Everybody wants natural.
All right, let's crack this stuff open.
Crack it open.
Let's see. That's got
Also,
very nice
shout out
notes.
to our
Just a little bit.
official sponsor, New Glarus,
Oh yeah.
who we're kind of limited on today, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
All we have is our Scream IPA.
Oh yeah. That one's pretty good though. I don't usually like IPAs, and I always felt like they
It was pretty good, yeah.
did a really good job with it actually.
New Glarus just does a great job with like everything.
So this High West stuff is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got like kind of a
Swig of that.
pepperminty kind of thing to it.
Peppermint.
Yeah.
It's not too strong though.
It's still pretty smooth.
Whew.
And it's 46% too.
That's delicious.
Up front, that's pretty that hits you up front.
Yeah, really.
Like-
yeah. I would say would be really good on the rocks probably if you're not like super into really really potent tasting whiskeys.
No, I can see that. I can
That
see
probably
that.
might mellow it out a little bit because that bite on the front is definitely there.
It's pretty strong on the front.
Seems like it's probably the reason for the double rye, or that's what the double rye did. I think
Right.
it's the only thing I can imagine. But yeah, so basically, the first thing that I want to talk about today is this thing everybody's going crazy about right now, which is basically that what the story people heard and is what's being reported in the media is that they just passed a bill that says that ISPs or internet service providers can sell your information on, to anybody who wants marketing stuff so that they can, better identify who you are as a consumer
and what
and
to
everything.
market to you.
That kind of
essentially.
sounds already like a pretty common practice.
Well, okay, and that's one of the things that's kind of a problem with this issue is everybody's talking about, they're pushing through this bill and it's unheard of and it's just another step against net neutrality and all this stuff. But if you looked at what it actually is, in like late 2016, there was a bill that was passed that basically was trying to make it so they couldn't sell our information. Now what's being done is that they're
remember that.
yeah.
I remember
But
that.
what they're saying now is it got to the point of like where they actually get to make the decision about whether or not it's going to be implemented, and they're going with it's not going to stay implemented.
It is not. So they will not be releasing your information.
No. They will
they
be
will be.
releasing it.
So-
but,
okay.
but here's the thing. People think it's like, they're selling my internet history. First of all, Google's been doing that to you since you were born.
Yeah,
So-
isn't
Yeah, that sounds
isn't
pretty-
that what cookies is essentially?
Essentially, yeah.
They're-
Well, and plus, people are making a big deal out of nothing. The internet service providers, first of all, they've already had the rights to sell your stuff forever. But the way it works is they have the right to sell it, but not like with attached to your name. It's in bulk. So they send like Madison area,
Yeah.
18 to 25. They look up this stuff. They're generally on this site for
just
this long.
demographics,
Yeah,
essentially.
it's stuff that's been going on for a long time,
Well-
and to pretend it's anything new is ridiculous.
So essentially what's happening is it's not like they really are implementing something new that allows this to happen. It's really they're preventing something that was going to happen.
well,
So this has always been happening.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I guess the only good thing about this is that it's drawing attention to it. But people are being really dumb about it. There's all this stuff going around like, and I bet these congressmen are going to be exempt from it themselves. They do not have the power to do that.
Yeah, right. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and they don't get to rewrite the law, and since the law already got rejected, they can't draft up a law that's similar to it and then just try to push it through anyways.
This is something I think is kind of funny. When this happened, I forget exactly who it was, but some sort of CEO he came out and said, if this passes, I'm going to buy the browsing history of every single congressman.
God.
And release
Hilarious,
it.
but just completely misinformed on what's actually like going on.
Yeah, right. Like, does that even matter, really?
I wish we could do that, though. That'd be great.
Yeah. They probably got a lot of worse stuff going on.
I want to see
right.
what McConnell's looking up at 3 a.m.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's great. So, I just think that people are freaking out over something that they should have been freaking out a lot longer, but not because of this,
Yeah.
So if this draws attention to the fact that this stuff is going on, good and everything, but
Well, even
it's
then,
nothing new and it really doesn't matter. And there's nothing we can do to stop it, is the thing. If everybody's going to get off the internet, great. But the fact is,
what's everyone's like big fear? What's their negative?
they think
privacy
people are going to
issues.
see all the stuff people are looking up online.
like
You know,
them
like
specifically.
So they're gonna look like, oh, this person spent a bunch of time on Reddit on this really weird subreddit revolving around
Yeah.
like something. You
Ian,
know,
you're getting too much information.
Yeah.
You're giving too much information.
Just speaking from personal experience.
All of his...
I'm terrified personally.
Ian, we know that you love Futanari anyway.
What the fuck is that? You're the one who's
You-
suspect now. You wouldn't even know the
right?
term.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I hope you never do again. Let's put it that way.
Good God.
Yeah.
Okay, so why do you know of it then?
Because I've just been to the dark side of the internet just to see it.
Ian's been to the dark side of the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I kind of took him there sometimes. Well, no, I know, no, not all the time.
You took me there. You wandered. We wandered through the dark and came out
Hand
the
in
other
hand.
side,
I've
trying
taken-
to find our path, seeing the most terrifying people.
I haven't taken you to the dark side of the internet. I've taken you to the weird side of YouTube.
Oh my! Is that Sean Connery?
Yeah, it didn't really come out. It was supposed to be like Darth Vader, and it came out Sean Connery. Not exactly what I was going for.
So, okay, so this whole thing, essentially, it's just about marketing, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Just selling marketing information. This kind
It's
of...
just making it easier for companies to figure out how to get their marketing out to their
Yeah.
target.
And what it comes down
Easier.
to, and if there's one thing to take away from this altogether, is the fact that, here, I'm just going to quote this guy that I read. It was actually on Reddit. The user was, Super Slide, with an informative take on this whole issue.
Hey, Super Slide, tell us what you got.
But the last paragraph of this, I think, is really on point. So another important thing to note is that there are already privacy protection laws that prevent ISPs from selling your individual data. And this is what I was saying before. They must package lots of anonymous data and sell it in bulk. And you can already buy all your browsing data from the city of Columbus, Ohio, but you can't buy Jane Doe's browsing data who lives in a specific house in Columbus, Ohio. So it's the same thing I was saying with...
And that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that's perfectly normal.
Because nobody gives a shit what you're looking at. They just want to know
No.
how to sell you stuff better.
exactly.
Exactly.
That's it. That's all it comes down to.
So all we have to do is keep a lookout for, pushing against those protection laws.
Yeah.
That's when it would really start to become an actual issue in my eyes. But for now, it's just like, I'm going to be out of a job if we can't have this. Because,
Yeah,
I
right.
went to school for marketing, and if I can't do demographic research on the areas I'm trying to sell stuff.
And make it easier to find that information.
How
then
else will you know
alone.
who to annoy?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
That's exactly what
I
I
need
want.
to annoy you guys.
Yep. But I wanted to get that out of the way because that was something I saw in the news this week that everybody's freaking out about. And I just kind of wanted to clear the air and say, hey,
the
look,
air.
you were already fucked.
They already know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
So get
Yeah.
over
if
it.
you're And plus, if you're looking at weird stuff, you're on a list. Get
yeah.
over it.
You're probably on a number of lists.
Yeah.
I mean,
So, I guess, speaking of disingenuous information, I've got a story here.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
This is a little dated because it's by about like 2-3 weeks because we didn't quite get to
Fucking
it.
ancient.
And we actually did have some technical difficulties, as some of you might know.
yes, we did.
I didn't hear about that. I don't know. Yeah.
You didn't hear about it because we didn't have an episode because of it.
This is
Valid
also
point,
true.
yeah.
So I was hoping we could get to this earlier, but what can you do? So what happened was I'm just scrolling through Facebook, and suddenly one of the news outlets that I follow, they're like, hey, Rachel Maddow has Donald Trump's tax returns, and she's airing them tonight. And I'm like, holy shit.
That's a fucking big story.
Yeah, that sounds like a big deal. So I look into it a little bit more because obviously I want to know how I can see this. So I find this article on Vox, and they're like, here's how you can see it. Here's what you got to do. Oh, by the way, she has Donald Trump's tax returns from 2005.
Okay.
That's
from a
it.
single year. It gets worse, okay? So I read that and I'm like, okay. That's a whole year's worth of information, though. So we can still get, like, all you need is one little bombshell, you know? So maybe there's something big. And Rachel's all over the internet until the show, hyping it up. And she posts this thing on Twitter like, we have Trump tax returns.
Oh.
Not Trump's tax returns. So to be fair to her, she worded it correctly. We have Trump tax returns. And
Wow.
it turns out, when you watch the show, she does not have Donald Trump's 2005 tax returns. What she has are 2 pages from the whole document.
What the fuck?
2 pages.
That's so dumb. Like,
That's it.
That sounds
from the 2005 though,
yeah, from the 2005.
and just 2 pages.
Yeah, it was
that's a bombshell.
It was like nothing. And I was watching Rachel do her little 20-minute intro opening spiel, and I was like, okay, just
Yeah.
Get to the point.
just
get to the
building
point.
up, just building up. Okay. So all we find out,
What?
literally all we found out through these through these returns is that year he made a profit of 150 million, and he paid about 38 million of that in taxes. That's
Shit.
essentially what we got out of it.
That still
And-
seems like a lot of taxes to me.
That's a lot of taxes.
No,
If you made
that's a fair
100
amount.
Yeah, that seems like pretty normal if he was, because the whole idea was
Well-
like he's avoiding paying taxes and he pays like the bare minimum and stuff.
Yeah.
If you're
And
paying 38 million in taxes, I mean that's
yeah. Well, what's interesting to me about it is like, people were talking about like, oh, they hated him because they thought he was like dodging all of the taxes and stuff. But then these are the same people who wanted Hillary as president, who all of her funders are doing this exact same, like tax
yeah.
shelter kind of stuff
Yeah.
to make sure
No shit.
that they keep all their money. So it's a little bit like anybody in the high end business industry is doing that. And if you're not, you're an idiot. And that's what Trump said in his very blunt, stupid way. But it is like, if you're not taking advantage of the system, what's the point?
why wouldn't you be? I mean,
Yeah. And if you're still paying $38 million,
in taxes,
Well, one of the things about it, they mentioned this on the show. If you take the percentage of what he pays in taxes, it's basically just the equivalent of an upper middle class tax bracket.
I mean,
Yeah.
38 million
38
on
million out of
115. That's
That's a
got to
fifth.
be.
That's near. Yeah, that's like.
I was gonna
around-
say,
38
that's-
million, 48, 12,
that's gotta be
15.
like
That's
20
actually-
That's more
like-
than a fifth.
That's like a fourth almost. That's a quarter of all
That's
the
got
money
to
he
be like
made.
23%.
That's gotta. That can't.
No,
be
it
right.
actually literally is 23%.
It's got to be like 23%.
I'm pretty sure it was literally
The
23.
accountant over here,
Yeah, right.
the failed accountant.
Pat the guesser over here.
So essentially, right now, the narrative is that Maddow just kind of was like tripping over herself and made Trump look good, and
That's stupid.
yeah, and well,
Yeah, it's hardly even a story when it
Yeah.
comes down to the end of the day. It was like hype that ended in
It
like
was.
a deflating balloon. Is how I picture like
Yeah.
this show.
It was so ridiculous. But at face value, it seems true that that's what happened. And in a way, it is what happened. Rachel definitely tripped over herself, and a lot of people think Trump looks better now because of this. But, oh, by the way, we actually do have, what was it, like a decade or so, 5 years of tax returns that were released prior to this.
Yeah.
That also show him not paying any taxes. So it's like different years, he's done different things.
Yeah. Well, that's like every business's taxes are different every year.
And
you know?
Trump's net worth has fluctuated quite a bit.
Yeah, well, when you have so many eggs in so many different baskets, like something can go under, and then that's like $2 million you're not going to make that year, or maybe you're going to make $5 million
other money
somewhere else.
into that.
Or maybe
too,
you're
and
gonna be bankrupt for 5 years.
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
Oh, there's more to it than this. Like, so first off, of the 38 million he pays in taxes, 31 million of that is only due to something called the alternative minimum tax, right? And here's a little interesting tidbit about Donald Trump's tax plan. It includes getting rid of the alternative minimum tax. And
Who would have thought?
yeah,
Who would have thought?
to me, that seems like a little bit exploitive. Is that a word?
I think
Yeah.
so. I mean,
The-
it sounds like a word to me. It's a word now.
It's a word now.
I say if everybody in the
Expletive?
when it comes to that kind of stuff,
If you understand
if you
it, it's a
understand
word.
it, yeah, fuck it. Shakespeare's the only one who can make up words. Assassination, bump. I'm gonna come up with words.
Oh, you made up assassination.
Assassination and bump.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bump.
He pioneered all the onomatopoeia, a lot of the onomatopoeias.
Oh yeah, I know about that. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Which, if you don't know, is when the word sounds like the thing happening. Bump. Or that would have been more of a knock.
Knock.
Excuse me.
Anyways.
It's all Greek to me. It's all Greek to me. So, I mean, don't you guys think it's a little suspect that Donald Trump's tax plan involves getting rid of essentially the only reason why he paid taxes that year?
Yeah.
Maybe,
I don't
though.
know.
Maybe he's aware of how many people are doing that, how much money is not.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, if he's... How many people do you think are doing that?
Paying the alternative minimum tax?
Yeah.
I don't really know. I would imagine probably a bunch of rich people.
Yeah, and if all those people were paying, normal taxes or whatever that would be, I imagine the government would be getting a lot more money from them.
No, if he got rid of the alternative minimum tax, the government would get less money from those people.
How so?
Because, well, he only paid $31.8 million in taxes because of the alternative minimum tax. 31 out of the 38,
Yeah.
only because of that. So if we get rid of it, 31 million of that year would not have gone to the government.
I think what Pat's trying to say, if I get right, you're thinking like that. If you don't have the alternative, you would have to use the original. Is what you're like the thinking process?
Because otherwise, if they're not doing that, wouldn't they just then not be filing for?
Because the alternative,
taxes?
well, because the alternative idea implies that there's options, is what I think. And like so, like if you eliminate the options, then what would be left is the one that you would have to do. But I don't think that's exactly how this works.
Yeah.
No, it's literally called the alternative minimum tax. I'm not describing it as an alternative. Yeah.
No, yeah, we're just saying like the name sounds like it sounds
Yeah.
like it's saying, oh, you can pay this, or you can pay the normal tax bracket one.
So I think that's one of the big things that comes out of this that a lot of people aren't talking about because they got caught up in the hype of Rachel putting her foot in her mouth. And but here's the other side of the story. The 2005 leaks kind of support the narrative that, big surprise here, Donald Trump is probably lying about his net worth significantly.
Yeah,
This
I just like this is.
It's a real shocker.
Yeah, that's one of those things where it's just like, who gives a fuck? Like we know the dude lies about it. We know he wants to seem like all chauvinistic and top tier.
Yeah.
So why the fuck does anybody care what he's worth?
I don't. Yeah, see, that's exactly it. I don't give a shit about what he's worth, and I'm glad that you bring this up because I don't want to seem like a hypocrite. Like I was a huge Bernie supporter, and that guy's worth what? I think 200 million or something. So
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about how much a politician makes. This isn't a dick measuring contest unless you're talking about the Republican debate where Donald Trump implied he didn't have a problem down there, but that's a whole different thing. The issue here is not how much Trump is worth. The issue here is that he's a fucking liar. And it's just a question of integrity. I mean, this isn't news, though.
No, that's the kind of the thing. It's just like I just don't give a shit. Everybody knows that Trump constantly lies about that stuff, and it doesn't matter to me at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to you that he's a liar? That the president
No,
is
it's old news. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
just
no.
saying what everybody said the entire campaign trail, the entire time he got. Like it's just we all know he's lying about everything that he does
Kind of
pretty
the-
much all the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just like who gives
The
a
same
fuck
thing over and
anymore?
over again.
So,
It's like people always seem surprised when he comes out with a new line. It's like, okay.
Does that
we had
really
the
surprise
biggest
you?
crowds at our inauguration. Look at these pictures. Don't believe your lying eyes. So, when he announces his candidacy in 2005, he releases a financial summary claiming to be worth $8.7 billion. Which is interesting because simultaneously he waltzes around saying, I'm worth over $10 million. Wrong.
Wrong.
My own financial report is wrong.
You said 10 million or billion?
Oh, billion. Did I say
yeah,
million?
you said 10 million. So I was like, well, that would be, that'd be accurate.
So if we take this 150 million figure, which comes out to 112 million after taxes from this year 2005, let's assume it reflects his annual performance just about. If we do that, we can get a speculative estimate of what he might actually be worth. Now, I want to stress that by no means is this concrete, like, we don't know what he's worth. We just don't know until he releases all of his information.
So tell me again why I should give a fuck if he releases information and stuff.
Why? Well, one of the things with tax returns is that they show whether or not you have conflicting, like, international business ties and stuff, say with Russia, which is kind of a house of cards that's this whole thing, this whole weird thing That's one thing about it. And
Yeah, I suppose.
it's a question of integrity.
Well, but like, I mean, let's look at Hillary's roller ties to Saudi Arabia that funded 90% of her campaign. I mean, everybody is in bed with some sick, fucking terrible people. It means nothing in the grand scheme of things, unless they can prove a direct correlation between the election campaign that he ran and getting elected and those ties to Russia. Unless they can prove like a causation, not a correlation, then it's still like, okay. If Hillary won, would all the Republicans just go, well, that's because Saudi Arabia made her win? You know, like this.
Yeah, right.
That's the same shit. So, like, unless they can prove causation, that stuff means nothing to me. It's just some shit on a piece of paper that says he did a business deal with someone that was Russian.
Yeah, that's totally true. There's something kind of interesting about the whole Saudi Arabia thing. Like, Donald Trump was criticizing her for that, but he has business ties with Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
No, not surprising at all.
International businessman. Pretty much anybody that's in international business has something to do with Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
They're like the richest people on the fucking planet.
Yeah, they are.
That's why we're friends with them when we shouldn't be.
Yep. That is a whole fucking mess. I've never understood that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, they keep it within their borders. So, like, you know, they're not trying to spread the fact that they want to murder and rape everybody. Anybody who, thieves, right? If you get thieves, then you get your hand cut off. Or, you know, if you're an adulterer and you're a woman and you get raped, then you just get stoned to death, right? But they don't want to do it outside of their country, so we can be friends. To me, that comes off like the
so weird.
like the wife beater who you know is a wife beater, but you're like, well,
But
he's
you
real
just
nice to
ignore
me.
it.
He's real nice to me. He never did anything to me.
He doesn't do it in front of me
He doesn't
either,
beat up
so.
anybody outside of his own home. So I don't think we should write him off.
Okay.
But he's got a lot of money and he helps me out and stuff. I do good stuff, so isn't that okay?
So Trump joins the workforce at around 1970. So that gives him about like 43 years to amass his wealth. In 12 years, he's estimated to be about, by Forbes, 200 million. So we can knock 12 years off of that 46, bring it down to like fucking 34. I don't know why that simple math took me so long.
Probably because you're a fucking idiot.
And on top of this, he essentially goes broke for 5 years from 1990 to 1995.
Do you remember what the cause of that was? Because I'd really be interested to know that.
I don't remember. It sucks that I researched this 2 weeks ago. All I really know about it, all I can remember is that he had to keep himself afloat by taking millions of dollars out of a trust that his father left all of the Trump children.
Well, that's lucky.
There you go.
Real lucky. He essentially built his fortune off of his dad, from what I know.
Well, the $1 million loan or whatever was the whole like startup thing, and then everybody was like,
a small loan of $1 million.
Yeah.
Which actually turns out to be like 200 million or some shit. Coincidentally, his net worth after 12 years. So if you take all of that information and factor it in, we can assume that right now he might be worth, drum roll please, $3.45 billion, which is a fraction of what he's claiming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, interestingly enough, I want to give myself a little pat on the back here.
Oh, yeah.
Because my estimates, and this is funny because I'm fucking terrible at math.
Sounds like it.
I just had trouble subtracting 12 from 46.
Yes, you did.
But interestingly enough, the figure that I came out with reflects exactly what all the major financial institutions have estimated his wealth to be.
There you go.
Yeah, in
Clearly
2000.
did your research.
Yeah, in 2015, Forbes claimed him to be at 4.1 billion, and now this year they bumped him down to 3.5 billion. And Bloomberg is also claiming at the beginning of 2017 he's worth 3 billion only.
Yeah.
Shit.
Only 3 billion.
That's
God, what a
a
fucking
lot.
failure.
Yeah, I know, man.
3 billion.
That's really
there you go.
There's an interesting theory about all this, though, and I kind of wonder what you guys think about this. I don't subscribe to it necessarily, but I would not be surprised if it's true. Do you guys think Donald Trump released his own tax information in order to make this series of events play out?
What, like give it to Rachel Maddow or just kind of half leaked it so she could find it kind of deal?
Yes, that's what happened.
Because she only had
That's what
Oh,
happened.
no, I mean, half leaked it to someone else. That's what I mean.
She
That's what
only
you
had
think.
2 pages of it.
Yes, which is, that's actually kind of an interesting aspect of it, because this is a leak of 2 insignificant pages that just say what he's worth that year and what he paid in taxes that year, both of which look particularly impressive. I think that year he also like reported 100 million in losses or something, and that sort of thing's.
I don't know what I don't understand about that would be like, why would Rachel Maddow run it? Why did she think she had something? Did she even read the shit that she got?
She probably.
Spur of the moment.
You know what I think it was? Rachel Maddow, if you know anything about her programming, she just gets fucking giddy. She's super giddy and really excitable, and she's any little thing she can latch onto. It's like,
that sounds like a really nice, unbiased way to approach reporting.
Yeah.
I actually do really like Rachel Maddow, but for these last years since this election cycle, for the last 2 years, she's just been off her fucking rocker.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of the media is kind of going weird, especially since there's been the shift to the internet. It seems like in a big way.
And it's weird because the internet has given us a lot of better information while also giving us a lot more crap.
Yeah.
Well, it just gives us more in general. So
Yeah.
it's just like inevitably we're going to have to deal with all this shit. But it also makes it so it's a lot easier to lie and get away with it. Because as long as you issue a retraction, it wasn't a lie.
Yeah,
they were just misinformed.
Like that Abraham Lincoln quote, don't believe everything you read on the internet.
Oh my god.
I saw that online.
I saw it online.
One of the interesting things about the tax forms, though, that kind of support the idea that he leaked them himself is they actually came from Trump Tower. And they have something stamped on it. I don't remember the specific phrasing. It says, like, client copy on it, which means somebody had to get Donald Trump's actual physical copy of this to send it to someone. I think that's what that means.
I wonder.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
And Trump has done weird stuff like this before where he's leaked his own information. I don't necessarily believe it. I just would not be surprised.
I don't know. I just really don't give a shit in a lot of ways. Like, so, and to expand on that, I feel like if it was a bigger deal, I would care. If it wasn't just 2 pages of nothing, I would care about if he leaked it or not. But if it's just like, oh, it's a stunt to make him look good, I guess I could believe that. But I could also believe that it was a failed attempt to make him look bad. It just, and either way, it was completely wholly ineffective on either side. So what does it really matter?
It was a whole clusterfuck of just nonsense.
Yeah. So if it was like a leak of like a big fucking deal with all of his stuff or something that was really detrimental, then it would be like more important. But in my eyes, like, this is just such a non-issue.
Like why does it matter what he's worth?
Exactly.
I don't care that he's worth 3.5 billion.
It's just the principle behind him lying. His actual worth doesn't enter into it.
And I'm just tired of like people trying to feel like they need to prove Trump's a liar is the thing.
This just in, Trump has a toupee.
Seriously.
And the world keeps turning.
And the world keeps turning. Yes,
what a beautiful life
of Trump. In the news.
Fantastic. Yeah, man. But didn't you say, what was the thing you were telling me about earlier, Pat, that was like, you read that fucking, like, Elon Musk book or something?
Yeah, I had
was it Elon?
It was Elon Musk. Yeah, I actually just finished it last night.
Nice. What's it
You must tell us.
It's called Elon Musk. You must tell us all about it. It's just called Elon Musk. I guess it's kind of like an autobiography sort of thing on him. And I guess I just wanted to bring it up to pick your guys' brains about the future and technology,
Ooh,
I guess.
That's one of my
Since
favorite
you had
things.
brought up the whole internet thing too, really. I mean, he's just kind of been in the media the last number of years with Tesla and like SpaceX and all those companies and shit, and how he's transforming the automotive industry. And like I read a little page when they were talking about Tesla in the book, that was like people who bought the first Teslas. I think it was like the Model S or something like that. That would complain about the door hinges not working when you walk up to the car, it can sense like the key fobs near the car, and the door hinges will pop out. Yeah, and then you can open the door.
Okay,
they
that's
complained
weird.
about it like lagging or like other things like that.
Huh?
And then
my car doesn't open its own door fast enough.
But then like Tesla would, because the car already comes with like a constant internet connection with it. They could just get into the car's computer via the internet connection and upload software to it that would make it work better, and the person would wake up in the morning, go out to their car to find that it had been updated, and
That's cool.
and like the keys worked perfectly fine with the car, or like the sunroof would work much better, or the display wasn't laggy anymore.
So wait, you
Like,
mean
That's weird.
Isn't that fucking crazy? Like
You
what?
mean-
And the car's fully electric. You don't have to pay for gas once you buy it, and
Gotta find a fucking charging station though.
they've got them all along the West Coast already though.
get some
Yeah, well, okay,
rechargeable
it's like
batteries?
someone like in Wisconsin like pulls over into a gas station.
Yeah.
Like, hey, where's the nearest Tesla station?
I need to charge
California.
my car.
California.
Get the fuck out of here. That probably would happen in some hick.
So you mean
gas town?
So with this update thing, you mean to tell me that I'll just be rolling down the highway and suddenly on my windshield there's going to be this pop-up. Would you like to update now? Terms and conditions. Scroll through. Not now. Not now.
Not now.
Your car just stops in the middle of
Shuts
the
off
road.
and flips over. Engages the brakes.
Car EXE has stopped.
Car EXE.
Oh my god, that would be insane.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for him to take the next step and make them all self-driving too, and
And
self-charging.
they pretty much like are too though. They have
Yeah.
like autopilot capabilities where they have radar that can like sense objects in front of them and to the left and right, and it can just stay in driving straight and steer, and it's just like what the fuck,
What's
dude.
Ian, you know a lot about movies. What's that old movie? I think it's like the 1980s. It's an action movie. That guy with the talking car.
The talking car. Oh,
It's like Night something.
Yeah, no. Night. Fuck, what is that? That's gonna bother me forever. Now.
Look
It's
it
got,
up.
it's got the
Yeah, look
talking
it up.
car, and like they did a spin-off of it. Well, not
And
a spin-off.
who's
it's a
the
parody of it
main
on
dude
Archer.
that's in that though?
Isn't it Knight Rider?
No, yeah, I think
so.
it is Knight Rider.
Who's that main actor though? What's his name again?
I don't know, man.
Because I want that shit.
I don't know 80s movies as well.
Yeah, but he's a big dude. I can't remember. His
He's a
fucking
big
name,
dude?
though. Well, no, he's just like a.
He's
he's a
Yes.
well-known. Okay,
Yes.
I was like, there's a lot. Is it Chris Farley? There's a lot of.
Yeah, like his agent is like, honey, I'm gonna make you a big star.
Yeah,
First,
big.
we're gonna go to the buffet. You can get all you can eat. It's gonna be great. It's gotta be Knight Rider.
I don't know. The one that I'm finding is a 1930 Western film starring Harry Carey.
Oh God.
Oh no, it's Knight with a K.
Oh.
He's the Knight Rider.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a television series now
Really?
with Michael Knight.
I want a car like
Wait a
that.
minute.
What?
Oh no, yeah, it was a television series. It wasn't a movie. It was a TV show.
Oh, seriously?
I guess so. 1982 TV series.
See, I want
Fucking
Tesla.
David Hasselhoff.
Wow, really?
Fucking
Really?
David Hasselhoff.
Fucking lifeguard.
That's the main character, dude.
Wow.
He's the car driver.
Good God. Oh, he's not the car. He's not like the
He's
voice
not the
of the
car.
car.
No, he's like
Yeah.
he's the driver
Man.
of the car.
To think he went all the way from such humble beginnings to the SpongeBob movie.
That's
I
his
know,
best
right?
cameo.
Oh yeah,
Basic,
it is.
You know?
No, he was the star.
That's awesome.
He was the star.
The way he
that's so
swam them out to the ocean and then shot them down to the ocean with his pecs.
I don't remember that, but now I do.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's for sure what
That's how he
happens.
gets him
He
back
like
in
speed swims them.
And then like
He swims him to the middle of the ocean in like 30 seconds.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Dude's
that
badass.
was
Yeah, he
a
is
long time
badass.
ago.
I watched that movie actually not that long ago.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Why?
It was just on TV.
Oh
I think.
yeah.
With
Okay.
G.
That's one. Oh, okay. That makes
Yep.
sense. Yeah. Kids.
Kids.
And, but you really were just like, I'm watching this. I'm watching this shit. I don't give a fuck.
Pretty much.
What I want is
SpongeBob movie. Why the fuck not?
I want Elon Musk to get on that shit. I want a car that I can talk to that strokes my ego. Like I'm checking my hair in the mirror and he's like, "You look fine." I don't know why I said he and gave a
Stop
girl
playing
voice.
with your hair. You look fine.
You look fine today.
It's like facial recognition to tell when you're
Yeah,
sad.
right.
And gives you a piece of candy.
Why are you so sad?
That'd get creepy. I don't want my car like worrying about me and shit.
Yeah.
It would be
that would
like a
get really
single
weird.
white Prius. you guys know what I mean. Yeah, single white female. Yeah, be one of those situations. The car starts dressing like you, and it's really weird.
Dude, I saw some weird video about the lady that did fucking the voice of Siri for Apple.
What? That's
Yeah.
Wait, someone actually did the voice for that though?
Uh-huh. Her name, what was her? Suzanne, like, fucking something with a B. It's just some, like, 50-something-year-old lady.
That's
She's
really
50?
weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
And she like the video that I watched. I was like reading into it, and I opened a video. She came on like I don't know, Oprah or fucking something.
Oh,
And she just walks on and just like introduces herself, and it was like, holy fuck,
fucking
Siri's talking to me right now. Like, it was so weird.
I saw something similar to that, but it was with the "You've Got Mail."
Oh
Yeah. And he's like a cab driver now.
yeah, I think you showed me that.
Watch his life just go downhill or something. Yeah, I drive cabs now.
And like you get, it's like, oh,
You've got a cab.
I want to meet
soon he's
the.
gonna have to switch over to Uber.
Yeah, right.
Times is tough, man.
I want to know who did the Wilhelm scream. Probably a guy
Yeah.
named Wilhelm.
Well, no, that actually
that's
is
from,
the
like-
origins of that are from like a 1930s,
Even
like
earlier, I
spaghetti
think, right?
western. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure it's
it
like
is?
from
Is it the
1930s.
30s?
I think so.
I thought it was even like 20s or even
You might be
earlier.
right. I know it's like, but the original one it's from was the actor who made the sound.
I love
love-
seeing those in movies.
I know, it's so great.
There's
I love
so
the
many
Wilhelm.
of them. Yeah. There's so many great ones. It's in all the Lord of the Rings movies. It's in all of the Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah, Indiana Jones. That's what I'm thinking of. Oh, it's so great.
More than
in Star Wars.
400 movies this has been used in.
It's in all the Star Wars. I don't know about the Lord of the Rings.
It's definitely.
It's in the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. You just look up the compilation videos of them sometime, and they'll have like it's endless.
I think the battle at the end of Two Towers has like an elf do it. He's like
I think so.
Yeah, he's falling off the fucking ramparts or whatever.
Yep. Oh, 1951. We were going
Wow.
Way
yeah.
back.
I was thinking, yeah, it was in
They didn't have the technology back then.
a movie called Distant Drums.
They should have
Wow,
just called
that's
it
interesting.
Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, but it was like I'm pretty sure that's just like a spaghetti western, and then it got used in everything forever because it really just became an inside joke. Like it's not that it's that great of a sound; it's just
No.
iconic in the film industry.
It is, yeah.
Personally, I prefer gluten-free spaghetti westerns anyway.
Or like if you watch, I think it's either Pixar or Disney. Who did Toy Story?
Pixar.
Pixar.
So I think it must
think
be
Disney
Pixar.
Pixar.
owns.
They do,
Yeah, or Disney owns
Disney
Pixar.
Pixar.
Though. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah,
Just a
both, whatever.
subsidiary.
I think
You
DreamWorks
can
is the
find
only
a
wagon.
A113 in like a bunch of Disney movies, and I know that's like the studio room that a lot of the editing gets done in. So like license plates for cars will be like A113 or like random shit like that.
That kind of stuff is so cool.
Yeah, right. And you like never know that until way later.
Wow. Well, that's cool.
It is cool, you know.
It's totally cool.
It's way
totally
cool.
cool.
It's way cool.
Wicked awesome.
And on that note,
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us here in the circle. It's been a fun time.
Been a good one.
it's totally radical.
Totally.
Oh God. In full circle.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
full circle on the Circle Podcast. All right.
All right, let's bring the circle jerk to a close. Come on,
Oh, what a way to go.
we're going in circles here. Come on.
God. Not helping.
Not at all.
As always, this is Ian
Christian.
And Patrick.
signing off.